Playhouse, and Trails of Cold Steel 3 has finally been announced for the PlayStation 4, and I thought, well, you know what, let me jump into this franchise because I'm a big fan of the Ys series, specifically Ys 8, that's the newest one from Falcom, and it's one of my favorite RPGs, an RPG that goes all the way back to the Sega Master System with Ys Books of Chronicles 1 and 2, and Trails of Cold Steel is another JRPG series by Falcom, and I thought, well, this game, it looks really interesting, especially since that they announced that there is a limited edition physical release for that game. So immediately I jumped on that pre-order and I sealed my copy of the limited edition. So if you're at all a fan of, JRPGs, especially Ys games, if you're a fan of Falcom, definitely check out Trails of Cold Steel 3, coming out this year in 2019 for PS4. But since I'm new to this series, I haven't played any of the games yet. Well, I figured, well, why don't I go back and check out the other games? Let me check out Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2, and what do you know it, Trails of Cold Steel, the Decisive Edition for PS4. This game finally just released on PS4 today, March 27th, and of course I had to jump on this limited edition offer because again, it comes with that original soundtrack, and it's a great deal. It's only $50 for this limited edition game. So that right there, usually limited editions, they turn out to be like $100. It's too much for my taste. You just can't buy every game, and sometimes, money's gotta go towards bills. So when developers release limited editions that are for a really fair price, that right there, I'm a big supporter of that. So I had to support them, localizing this to the States, putting it on the PS4, and putting it all together in this one limited edition. Enter the all-new Class 7. Embark on a grand experiment as the prestigious Thor's Military Academy assembles 9 carefully chosen students with unique talents and abilities. Becoming top of your class is expected. Saving your country is required. Journey through a massively remastered version of this classic world-changing adventure, stunning HD graphics now at 4K resolution, running at 60 frames per second. So high-definition graphics at 4K resolution with a solid 60 frames per second. That right there, all of that combined, it's just such an amazing feat to accomplish. New audio features, addition of original Japanese voices, and 50% more English voiceovers. All DLC bonuses, optimized interface, and more. The Decisive Edition includes all the DLC bonuses optimized for the PS4 with 4K resolution, 60 frames per second, and in this Decisive Edition, we get included as an exclusive steelbook case, a replica 50 mirror corn, and a musical selection CD. So let's find out what's inside. So right off the bat we have the 50 mirror coin, so I believe this is just in-game currency. So here it is. I'll do a few close-up shots of the coin, but it is really nice. I think it's made of metal. And then the most impressive part is this steel bookcase. This right here is so beautiful. It is amazing artwork on it. I just really like the vibrant colors, kind of like a dark but vibrant tones. It has some fire on the front, one of the main characters. I don't know the names of the characters. Again, I am brand new to this series. I'm really excited to play the third one because they just announced it for 2019. And they really do a good job at taking all the, the hardcore fans and the newcomers and being able to combine them together to play one game, one cohesive story. So they really translate that well and mesh it together. Then on the back you have a really nice scene of all the characters and some kind of enemy or a mech in the background there. But once we open this up, here we have it. We have the actual game. We have an instruction manual that you don't ever see, and then underneath the manual and the CD, you have a beautiful collection of all the characters, just sitting around together at the table, just gathering together. But it's really beautiful. I really love the artwork that they designed for this game. You can really appreciate, the illustrators and all the hand-drawn drawings of everything, just all the passion that they put into it. So here's a manual for the game, and it's a full, in-depth manual. There's tons of information in it. It's full colored. It has all your classmates and your characters here. You have Elisa, Reen, Laura, Elliot. It goes over all the battle commands and the battle system. You have game basics, a lot of in-depth characterization of all these characters, of all the maneuvers and attack abilities in this game. And what's really nice is that towards the back you have a in-depth comic book of all the characters. So you have these illustrations, these little funny, cartoony, and all those excited facial expressions for each one of the characters. So you have a little comic book for Elisa. It shows how she's setting the stage, all of her expressiveness, the protagonist, and it has a little comic strip for each one of the settings. So it's just really cool that they add all of this into the game, you know, into an instruction manual, something like that we never get in any game nowadays. Most of the time when you open up a physical case, you get nothing but just the actual disc, and it's actually really nice to not only get the disc, but get a steelbook edition of it, get an inserted cover art on the inside of the actual physical game, and then and even more with the manual, we get a comic book. So it's a really nice added bonus to everything. It just brings it all together as a whole. Somewhere in here, we got the actual original soundtrack. There it is. That is really cool. I really like the dark crimson red of this. I assume that is their school colors. That's the outfits that they all have. They have these dark crimson red coats on. Don't play with knives, kids. Yeah. So here is the Trails of Cold Steel musical selections. We have 21 songs all included on this disc. 21 original songs. I'm a big fan for music for video games, especially JRPGs. They always have really fantastic music. You know, Falcom in particular, they do a really great job with the music, especially for the Ys series. That's one of my favorite games. One of my favorite soundtracks is from Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana. So I'm really excited to listen to this soundtrack for Trails of Cold Steel because I know that they're going to knock it out of the park. I just know how amazing that this is going to be. In fact, I'll play some right now. Amazing soundtrack, all that music, it is just so pleasing to my ears. I love listening to all the different tunes. You know, it really puts you in that mood to play these games, to go out throughout each one of the worlds, and just that music really carries you on in the game. It really drives you forward to go out there, you know, to complete the game, to drive that story forward. And as a JRPG, you know that they're going to have an amazing story in this game. That's why they're one of my favorite genres, is for that story, because they're just so engaging. They really pull you in. So I'm really excited to play this game, Trails of Cold Steel. Finally, I have the Decisive edition. We have all of this included in one. You have your actual cover art for the game. You have the steelbook collection. You get this really in-depth instruction manual with a little comic at the end. A little collector's item 50 mirror coin. That's really nice. You can put that in your pocket. And the musical selections for Trails of Cold Steel. So that's everything that we get in this Decisive edition. That's all the contents here in one package. So I'm really excited to dive into this game. I'm really excited to go on this adventure and push forward through this story. So thank you for joining us today for another episode of Wormys Playhouse, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter. We'll see you again in another episode. We'll see you then. Bye.